welcome back to the channel. First, I have to say that I had another video planned for today about root stock, but I will post it on Wednesday since today I will talk about Tesla and their recent release, their delivery numbers for the fourth quarter and the whole 2020 and their expectations for the future. With all that said, I will give you guys an update of my expectations for 2025 and 2030 according to their expectations. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Please consider subscribing and smashing that like button since it really helps the channel out with the algorithm. Also have a completely free Discord group chat, which the link for that is down in the description below. So obviously we all have seen the growth Tesla have had in the past 1 or 2 years, which have been impressive. And achieving their goal of 500,000 vehicles delivered for this year was also impressive. Elon Musk, to give a little push to those numbers this year and make more people buy their car before the year ends, he tweeted that all Tesla cars delivered in the final 3 days of the year will get 3 months of the full self-driving option for free. Delivery on docks must be fully completed by midnight December 31st, which is a huge motivation for people that really want the car since the full self-driving costs $10,000, and obviously that was a push to be able to achieve the 500,000 vehicles sold for the year, in my opinion. Now they delivered 180,570 vehicles in the fourth quarter and had a production of 179,757, and they delivered 499,550 vehicles for the whole year 2020, which obviously is not the 500,000 mark that they had, but still is huge for the company, in my opinion. Also, Elon Musk said that those numbers could vary at around 4.5% or more since these are early numbers. They beat analysts' expectations since analysts were expecting 176,000 vehicles for the quarter, and even though they missed their expectation for the 500,000 vehicles, we do have to take into consideration that they almost hit that milestone even with a pandemic in which they had to close one of their factories for longer because of COVID, and obviously sales also decreased throughout the beginning of the year. So being able to achieve their goal after all that is very impressive and excellent for the company long term. As you can see here, they have been having some excellent and constant growth in deliveries year over year, and even better since 2018, in which they have had a nice growth of around 30 to 40% year over year. Obviously, it is not the 100% growth like NIO had this quarter in deliveries, but still, it is huge since they used to have those returns between 2017 and 2018 and now have found a way to have constant growth. NIO is a smaller company and has way better things to prove still in comparison to Tesla. Don't get me wrong, both are excellent companies and in my opinion are the dominants in the EV industry, but Tesla is the bigger one right now. Deliveries were dominant by the Model 3 and Model Y, which was more than expected since they are their cheaper cars. Then the company said it plans to produce 20 million cars annually by 2030, which we will talk more about that later on the video. Also, they did not formally release targets for 2021, but Elon Musk said that last quarter that they would expect between 840 to 1 million vehicles by 2021, which on average would be a growth of around 84% year over year, and that would be really impressive for such company. Now, this is actually excellent. To underpin its plan, the company is working to expand its car making footprint to 4 facilities from 2. Tesla aims this year to open a factory near Berlin, which would be their first one in Europe, and add a second US plant that it's building outside Austin, Texas, apparently for the Cybertruck. And most importantly, Mr. Musk also said that the company plans to begin selling vehicles in India this year, which, if you ask me, that is excellent for the future growth of the company since India is a huge and massive growing market that would help accelerate Tesla growth and expansion. Now let's talk about what to expect as a long-term investor. About 2 months ago I posted this video in which I showed my expectations for Tesla revenue growth and stock price by 2025. It was a very conservative calculation and I still like it, but let's modify it with today's numbers and then do our calculations with Tesla's new target of 20 million vehicles by 2030. So on that video I calculated Tesla would deliver over 181,000 vehicles for the fourth quarter to be able to achieve the 500,000 goal, and after calculating average sales price of every vehicle they currently offer, that would give them a revenue of $11 $10.38 billion for the year. But if we change that, would slightly decrease their revenue $10.5 billion and have a net income of $560 million, which would be earnings of 75 cents per share. That would give them a revenue of around $31 to $31.3 billion for the whole 2020, which I think that is low for them, and they should for sure beat analyst expectations. And analysts are expecting over $30 billion in revenue. Now, at the moment, I was expecting them to have a total production capacity of 3.5 million vehicles for 2025, since right now they have a total capacity of 840,000 vehicles between Fremont and Shanghai factory. Then for their Shanghai facility, they increased their capacity to 400,000 vehicles between Model 3 and Model Y. Then their upcoming Berlin factory is expected to be around 500,000 vehicles per year. And also their Austin, Texas factory, which is expecting to have capacity of 500,000 vehicles, which would give Tesla a total capacity of 1.99 million vehicles per year by 2022. So by 2025, I expected 3.5 million vehicles of capacity, and that would give them about $172.3 billion. I'm expecting that by then, they should be selling their new model of $25,000, their Roadster, and the Cybertruck as well. But now, by 2030, they are expecting to be able to deliver 20 million vehicles per year. Let's say that they reduce a little bit more their prices of their vehicles, so they would have an average sale price of $45.2 thousand between Model 3 and Model Y, and $85.4 thousand between Model S and Model X, 200,000 for the Roadster and 55,000 for the Cybertruck. That would give Tesla a total revenue of $957 billion for 2030, which would leave them with a net income of around $161 million, which would be earnings of about $138 per share. Now let's first check some things and then I'll give you guys my stock prediction for 2030. Obviously, those numbers sound like massive growth for the company and stock price, but the truth is that analysts are expecting way more. I found these two articles. The first one said that according to Tesla's historical growth, it would have a revenue of about $1,200 million by 2027 by doubling their revenue every year from now on, which obviously would be massive, but it is not taking into consideration any kind of delay for Tesla. The second article actually talks about how Tesla is and will continue dominating the industry within the next few years. They are expecting that in 2024, Tesla could have $100 billion, do $125 in revenue, and be worth $300 to $400 billion. It is now selling $150 billion. That is only the beginning. In 2030, it could have a revenue of $750 billion to $1 trillion with an operating profit of $150 billion to $200 billion. So my expectations are not far behind. By then, Tesla could be worth $1.5 trillion, which obviously means that their stock price should go up as well. Should, but not will. After all that said, if all this happened, then these are my calculations for the stock price. Their stock price after dilution with a PE ratio of around 40, that would mean that the stock should have a price of around $5,500 per share by 2030 without any other split, and that would be a return of almost 1,200% until then. Now, as Elon Musk said, they would be able to achieve those goals if they are able to maintain constant excellent execution, which could be possible, but a lot of things could happen on the way. So we do have to take into consideration. This is a very bullish statement from my end, in my opinion. I do believe Tesla will dominate the market. I think they will be able to innovate more and more every year, but we have to take into consideration that their competition is growing. NIO will most likely expand to Europe. Apple will most likely start their own electric vehicle, and those are things that would, in my opinion, slow down Tesla growth a bit. I'm not saying it will destroy it, because I don't think that is possible right now unless Tesla completely fails, but I do think that there will be more and more competition within years, and their growth will slow down within years as well. Still, I think Tesla is a good long-term investment since electric vehicles will completely dominate in the car industry by 2030, as many countries are banning gas vehicles, and Tesla has positioned themselves very well for the future. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. These are all speculations and predictions for Tesla. You should do your own due diligence and predictions on your own, but would like to know what you guys think about these calculations. Do you think Tesla is capable of achieving their 20 million mark by 2030 or no? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please smash that like button and subscribe since it really helps the channel out. Also remember about the completely free Discord group chat with the link for that is down in the description below, as well as the 4 free stock with Webull, which you are able to get by signing up with them and depositing $100. That offer will expire on January 15th. Thank you and see you next time.